name is Azita Arvani. I'm the former CEO of Rakuten Symphony North America, and also board member of 2 public companies. What if I told you that the true potential of AI comes to life, not just by the data it processes or the computations it performs, but by the very foundation that connects them? Network is the 3rd pillar of AI and not talked about as much. So you remember back in 2006, they said data is the new oil. And that has been a very powerful observation. Now, Sam Altman told us that compute is the currency of the future. But the part of the puzzle that we don't talk about as much is the network. Today's AI feeds on existing, mostly human-generated data. While that's great, but that's changing. Tomorrow's AI is going to be mostly on machine-generated data. And machine-generated data is going to be the battleground for competitive advantage. Also, tomorrow's AI is going to want more flexible ways of compute and data to work together. And that's where AI can offer a lot of flexibility. So what can networks do for AI? Networks can be the conduit for machine-generated data. Last year, we had over 16 billion IoT devices, and that number is going to be close to 30 billion devices by 2027. So that's going to bring a lot of data, and mostly from sensors, which is going to bring physical data into the world of AI. When we think about networks themselves, they are increasing in capabilities, whether it be the speed, the latency, the density of the connection per square kilometer that's increasing all the time, and also being able to get to parts of the planet that we didn't have access with before using non-terrestrial networks and with satellites. Networks also give you these different layers of edge cloud, which helps bring AI closer to the edge. So for example, in the telco cloud, we can have the private edge at the enterprise. We can have what's called the far edge at the base station where the distributed base stations are, or in the regional offices, etc. So you have this whole flexibility where you can put CPUs and GPUs in distributed areas and have not just telco workloads, but AI workloads on them as well. Networks bring the scalability, configurability that you want. In addition, the fact that it brings a lot of security and privacy as well, especially for the sensitive data that you don't want them to move beyond the local area where they were generated. But the challenge with today's network is that the majority of the networks are optimized for consumers. What that means is that you and I, for example, in the US, we pay somewhere between $40 to $60 a month. We get pretty much the same kind of network services. But what we want is a network that's very flexible and capable of providing the kind of networks that really satisfy the needs of mission-critical, life-critical applications of the enterprise. And that is the custom networks, and they have to be provided in a way that's efficient, that meets the return on investment for the enterprise. So what do? How do we create intelligent, efficient, and adaptable networks? One thing we can do is make them programmable. This is traditionally, networks have been created by these proprietary black boxes that take a lot to install, to provision, to support, maintain. It takes a lot of people to do that. And the trend that Rakuten, the company I was with before, we pioneered, is to bring in cloud-native programmable networks to mobile networks. We were the first to develop and deploy that. We also made sure it's open architecture and has end-to-end automation. And that helped with a lot of efficiency and bringing intelligence to the network. Beyond that, you know how much telcos spend for operating expenses? Just take a guess. It's about 69% of the revenues goes into operating expenses. And I'm sure you tell, well, this is a huge area for improvement for networks. So AI can help a lot with that. And there are many categories, but if you just categorize them into 4 areas, the low-hanging fruit is the enterprise functions that I'm sure we all talk about, right? The customer service, chatbots, voice bots for customer support, marketing and sales, security, etc. So that's one sort of low-hanging fruit. But then there is the core of what telcos do, which is the network. And that's the part that can get much more self-aware, self-healing, and it has that become a zero-touch operation and really become that autonomous network that we all envision. And again, that's something that we proved at Rakuten. It works with sort of like the first generation AI, the sort of basic automation, and the possibilities are even much higher than that with the next generation of AI. Then going deeper into the network with the radio access network, which is the most expensive and the most distributed part of the network that also can leverage AI to do better dynamic resource management, to do better energy savings, etc. And the very exciting category is being able to create new services, create new networks that really go after the exact requirements that the enterprise function was. And we can use AI to create new networks, whether they're extension of the existing network, whether they're slice of the new networks, and do it in a way that's AI provisioned, AI deployed, and the entire lifecycle management is using AI, so it's much more cost efficient. So by doing all of that, we'll create networks that are very intelligent, very cost efficient, and very adaptable and flexible. So in conclusion, network is AI's 3rd pillar. In order for that to work well, we need dual transformation. We need AI to help networks to be all they can be, so that networks can help AI to be all it can be. Thank you.